Hi, good day everyone. So this was a question that was sent to me and they asked me, Miss, can you just let me know how would you do this question? So first off, this is simultaneous equations, but this is not linear and linear simultaneous equations. This is linear and non-linear simultaneous equations. So at some point, we will meet up quadratics in this. Right, so first off, in your first step, anytime you have to solve simultaneous equations is to label. This would be equation 1, this is equation 2. Right, now because this is linear and non-linear equation, we cannot use the elimination method. Right, we can only use the substitution method. So we can say from which equation? Let's say from equation 1, make x the subject. And this will give you a third equation. So x minus y is equals to 2. We want to make x the subject. Anytime, so I'm going to underline x so we know that it have to stay there. First off, we make sure, is your sign in front of x positive or is it negative? It's positive, so we leave the x there. And we're going to carry everything else across. I'm going to carry across minus y. Now, when you carry something over the equal sign, it is the opposite. The opposite of minus y is positive y. So x would be 2 plus y, and this would be equation 3. Now, substitute equation 3 into which equation? Because equation 1 was used to make equation 3, we cannot substitute it into equation 1. We have to substitute it into equation 2. So wherever you see x, you're going to put 2 plus y. Now, if we look at equation 2, we see that the relationship between x and y, when you see it like that, it's x multiplied by y. So we're going to put 2 plus y, and in brackets tells us we are multiplying by y is equal to 15. So we are going to multiply y by 2. Laws of distribution states anything that is directly outside your bracket, we multiply it by each term in our bracket. So y by 2 is 2y, y by y is y squared is equal to 15. Now, we can kind of see where our quadratic is coming about. However, we need to make that be equal to 0. So let's rearrange this. Y squared plus 2y, carry across this 15, minus 15, because again, there's a plus in front here, although you're not seeing it. It's positive 15. We carry it over the equal sign, so the opposite of positive 15 is minus 15. This would be equal to 0. Now this here is a quadratic equation, right, where your highest power is 2 and it's going in the form of ay squared plus by plus c. All right, so therefore a is my coefficient or number and sign that is in front of my y squares. A is equals to 1, b is equals to 2, and c is equals to negative 15. Now, when you're solving a quadratic, there are several ways. One of the ways you can either factorize, and the next way is use your formula, which is given in your formula sheet if you're doing CSEC math. Right? So first off, we're going to factorize it. The first step is to identify what is A, what is B, and what is C. A is your coefficient of whatever your unknown is squared. B is the coefficient of whatever your unknown is, right, which is y, 2, and C is your constant, which is minus 15, right? So when we're factorizing, when we are solving this via factorization, first step is to identify A, B, and C. Next step is to say what is A by C, which is 15. Disregard the signs for now. The only time we really have to worry about the signs is when we are dealing with negative numbers. Right, so first step, again, identify A, B, and C. Second step, multiply A by C. Third step is to write your factors of 15. Now, when you're writing your factors of 15, we are going to use the pairing method. What is the pairing method? You use your small numbers to find your bigger numbers. So you say, could 1 go into 15? Yes, 1 could go into 15 times. Can 2 go into 15? No. What about 3? Yes, 3 could go into 15. How many times? 5 times. The only number between 3 and 5 is 4. Can 4 go into 15? No. So my pairs is either 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Remember that. So you're going to ask, which pair of numbers can I add or subtract to get B? This is your fourth step. If you add or subtract 15, if I add 1 and 15, I'm going to get 16. If I subtract 15 and 1, I'm going to get 14. There's no way I could use those pairs. I'm going to cross it off. What about 3 and 5? Yes. So B will now be 5 minus 3. And that would give you 2. So now wherever you see B in your original, you're going to put 5 minus 3. So 5y minus 3y. So it is going to now turn y squared plus 5y minus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0. Now this has become factorizing with 4 terms. When you have to factorize with 4 terms, what do? We take our first pair, which is y squared plus 5y, factorize it. That's y by y plus 5. And your next pair is minus 3y minus 15. Now our aim is our brackets has to be the same. So y plus 5. So we're going to kind of work backwards. Y by what would give you minus 3y? Y by minus 3. Let's multiply it. Minus 3 by y is minus 3y. Minus 3 by positive 5 is minus 15. So we know that this is correct. So now we combine these two, which is y by y plus 5, close bracket, minus 3 by y plus 5. Because our brackets are the same, we are going to put it in one. Y plus 5 and then y minus 3 is equal to 0. You're going to let each bracket be equal to 0. So y plus 5 is equal to 0. Y minus 3 is equal to 0. So make y the subject, carrying across minus 5. So y would be carrying across plus 5 to turn to minus 5. So y is minus 5. Or y is equals to, if I carry across minus 3, it'll turn to positive 3. Now please note, in quadratics, you always get 2 answers, right? You are not going to get one answer. For a quadratic, you are always going to get 2 answers. So now that we have our 2 values for y, we're going to, you have 3 equations. Now when I'm doing substitution method, I usually just substitute it into equation 3. Why? Because equation 3 is already telling me what x is equal to. Rather than substitute it into equation 1 and 2 and then you have to make x the subject, equation 3 is already telling you, well, x is equals to 2 plus y. Alright, so I'm going to substitute y is equals to minus 5 into equation 3, and I'm going to get x is equals to 2 plus minus 5, which is x is 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. And then I'm going to, I ran out of space. Then I'm going to substitute y is equals to 3 into equation 3. So x would be 2 plus 3. So x is equals to 5. Right? So therefore, when x was minus 3, y was minus 5. And when x was equal to 5, y was equals to 3. And that would be your answer for this question on how you would solve simultaneous equations with linear and non-linear equations.